My name is Debra Johnson. I am an employee at Atlantis Community. It is not my first job, but I will say it is one of the best jobs that I've had in a while. I am a mother. I am a grandmother. I'm a mother of 7 if you count marriage, and I have 13 grandchildren. And I try to participate in life with as much independence as is possible and as is how I was taught, so from my parents. I was born premature. I was a 3-pound baby, way back when a 3-pound baby had maybe a 50% chance of survival. Because of that, because of the underdeveloped lungs, I was placed in an incubator, which caused blindness. So I am considered legally blind and that's something that I didn't realize until, I was visually impaired all my life, and then at some point in time, we started discussing the definition of blindness being that you have to alter your life so much that it changes the way that you do things, the way that your daily living activities are done. And so I have learned to just call that blind. So that's who I am. Yes.
Awesome. And did you grow up in California?
Yes, yes. As a matter of fact, when they discovered that I was blind, it was recommended that I go to a blind school. And I believe that was in Los Angeles area. But my parents, well, being a school teacher, they don't make a lot of money, and they really can't afford to send a child away to special school.
Sure.
So, and also I think my parents really wanted a sense of normalcy for me. They wanted me to grow up independent. They wanted me to be just like any other child. And so they really pushed and advocated for that. And yeah, and they were in a small town. So while discrimination happens, everywhere, I want to say I was kind of sheltered from it because of my parents, because of their ability to step in into situations, and not get lost in a crowd. My parents were there for me all the time, always making sure that I had opportunities.
Very cool. So I'm sorry, I interrupted. You went to California State University away from home.
Yes. Mm-hmm. I did.
And how was that experience? Was it pretty accessible in terms of your education?
There are a lot of things I wish I had known back then, and there were some opportunities that I did not have, things that my parents didn't know, things I didn't know. I didn't know about talking books, which have been around longer than I have, longer than I've been around. What is it called? There are audio books that I could have had for school, but instead I was reading print. I was using a little small handheld magnifier to read print, and then with a very, very bright light. That was my accessibility. In the university level, I was responsible for talking to my teachers and explaining to them that I could not see the blackboard, that I might need a little, having stuff written down on a separate sheet of paper, things put high contrast, but not a lot of it. A lot of the stuff I did pretty much on my own, trying to make sure that I could access it. And it was difficult. It was very, very difficult without having, in the university level, I was responsible for talking to my teachers and explaining to them that I could not see the blackboard, that I might need a little, you know, having stuff written down on a separate sheet of paper, things put high contrast, but not a lot of it. A lot of the stuff I did pretty much on my own, trying to make sure that I could access it. And it was difficult. It was very, very difficult without having the technology that we have today, without having, you know, computers with the audio, adaptive devices, without having, you know, screen readers and, you know, without knowing about getting somebody to read for me, to read to me, so that I wouldn't have to struggle and read those things. I spent a lot of late nights trying to keep up. I did not get my degree. I have to say I'm about 2 classes short of getting my bachelor's degree. And I would have to say that would be political science and history that kept me from getting my degree.
That's math for me, so I totally relate.
Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, but I loved school. You know, I loved learning. Um, but it was also in college where I met my husband, and you know, and that was another experience, another part of my life.
Life happens.